Hi to all from Fabrizio, and now we go to explain a new article about XSS cross-site scripting attack. Obviously, I am talking about particular type of attack of hacker against your site when they found a vulnerability of your website. And the cracker captured your credential of your site, of a site where you are logged. This is the idea of XSS cross-site scripting. I am write this article that is the article more of an example about XSS cross-site, more near a real attack. More I have write a code to block and validation with JavaScript, PHP for block this type of attack that you can find on my user account on GitHub. Here, wait a moment. Okay, github.com/sladfive repository, and this is the file where there is validation, right list, one black list of this particular type of attack to your site. More, there is an example that you can find. For example, with the code that you have seen on YouTube, that you can find on my site, that it is mersolution.net/example/php/filter php, and I show it to the end of the topic. Okay, now we go to start. What is XSS cross-site scripting attack? We face the problem of cross-site scripting that it is a problem of vulnerability of website. Specifically, it is a vulnerability that affects all those sites that have server-side programming language in their code, such as PHP, ASP.NET, C#, etc. In other words, when the web page provides of value for validation or other. Before to continue to explanation, this article is my language, that it is Italian language, but you can translate on your language with the plugins on the right of the widget, that it is Google Translate. Here you found powered by Google Translate, and you choose your language and go on. Wait a moment, please. In other words, when a web page provides a passage of value for validation on others, a possible hacker or worse still, a cracker will multiply obviously malicious purpose. Find the door of entry in the input of data. For example, data collection, the direction of the data that was collected in the previous point, manipulation, also in the case of that has been collected on point 1. Change website behavior, other. But in short, it is clear, wait a moment, that the intent of those who carry out this type of attack is always malicious. Over here, the classification of this type of attack is greatly expanded. Today, under the heading XSS cross-site scripting, there is a wide range of attacks classified as alert, as follows. Sorry. This is on Italy, but this is the aggressor is the hacker and send malicious code on the link of the email of the browser that received the attack. And this link go. I'm sorry. We go on the vulnerable site where there is the access credential. The type of attack is divided on two types of attack, that is not persistent and persistent. They are most common substantially occur when server-side data is passed to be reused for the purpose of the site without its security being checked. Generally, in this type of attack, the byte is resembling looking URL, but instead point to an untrustworthy site that from which malicious code may be downloaded in the victim browser, as you have seen on the image. Persistent. An attack of this type occur when the data provided in the case by the attacker are saved on the server and therefore are always displayed. Therefore, persistently in the infected web page during the navigation on the user who does not realize the danger that he is running. For the moment that I cut again my glass. Okay, typically these attacks are spoken of when malicious code is injected with the script and the following JavaScript code with the collected data which is redirected to their source controlled by the attacker, another website typically. Another type of attack was previously made with the object of the DOM type, that it is the asynchronous call on the client side, which generally took place with Ajax and jQuery, but now they are safe and hacker-proof system. Moment. And this is the two examples of XSS scripting, not persistent. The cracker look for an attackable web page that it does not control the data that is entered. Let's say a query like smartphone search something. That is mobile site. The site works perfectly. Enter the name of the mobile, for example, smartphone search Samsung 10, and find the mobile part of the smartphone .php question query search etc. The problem is when someone introduces a malicious query as this script. That is the script of a pop-up. Alert vulnerable attack of is XSS. Generate a script that generates a pop-up with this writing. At this point, the cracker write this right, that it is a link to your site if you are the man that you want, if you are a cracker, and start sending emails with deceptive message to reach the URL that in your email will be something like look at this beautiful form I found here with your HTML, your beautiful Samsung test and link cellulari.smartphone.php cerca script and the malicious code. If you click at this point, you are already compromised, as the malicious script will pass the data to all attacker sites which in way will store your access data and subsequently to access to sensitive data. And this is the string. At this point, you are compromised, and the man that the cracker have your maybe credential access to your site and card of money. And I have write also an example for XSS scripting persistent is very similar, but on this case the malicious code is introduced by an image, for example. At the end, as I have say to the start, I leave you some link as how to block site scripting on WordPress. This is wait a moment. Okay. Now okay. Now is on English. As you can see, there is many suggest about you can defend your site with plugins, with a secure password, with a security policy, and to block critical file, and how to setting your .ht access, HT access, I'm sorry. And the most important is the plugins WordFence, that it is the best plugins for me for this type of attack. Okay, you can see a practical example of an attack with this type of malicious code. You can read here, and I explain everything, but obviously on this code I have deleted the most important thing that the cracker use to capture your access credential. Is more an hacker that do it, but from the job of an hacker to pass to an cracker is not very hard, but it is only to explain the system. You don't do it, never. Okay, more I have you have see also an example for validation that I have say at the start of this topic. PHP that you can find on noisolution.net/xampp/php/filter/php, and PHP for validation example attack from XSS Site Scripting. Form for the validation of email, or here I have a little mistake, is name, number, and we can see if the form is well validation, well format, and if there is particular risk of XSS Site Scripting. For example, I don't do all everything because you can find all on the github to for user sladfive, so you can find directly on the server or repository of github. So I show only the most important things about this type of scripting to block XSS attack. Validation Gmail. For example, I can write John, submit, and we have that you receive this script that it is email John is not well formatted. The risk of malicious code is no one. So it is okay, but is okay, but is not an email good well formatted because John is not this type of email. But if I introduce an example with John with Gmail, I have and submit, and I have email John Gmail is well formatted. The risk of a malicious code is no one. Okay, John Gmail is okay, but we can try to find something of different. Good email, but with a malicious script. As example, script alert XSS attack. Sorry. Okay. If your site is a vulnerability to this type of attack, appear a pop-up where there is write XSS attack. Attack. Oh, terrible English. Okay. Then email is not well formatted. First of all, important. And the system say you the risk of malicious code is high. This means that on the code there is a malicious code. And so you can use this type of example to test, and if you want you can download this from YouTube. It is very simple. The important, I not explain all of this. This is the code. The most important is this is the index of the code. Okay, check value, not important, not important. For example, we have try the email. Hold a moment, please. This is Notepad++. Validate email is the same for all type of validation. Validate email is include check value. Check value is send the value of email on this case. In this case, do the trim, script flash, and HTML special char, and return the value. Okay. Here, read if the mail is loaded. Okay. While input is you have seen the function into the check value, but the important is this. Filter validation email is a function of PHP from 5.2, if I don't mistake. And if it is correct, is true, validation go true, or go on false. In these cases, I have a path negation, so go on false. If to the end of the if the validate email is true, this write this echo image, and the name of the email is well formatted and ratio. You can see here totally. Okay, totally is equal to 0. What is totally? Where is loaded the variable totally? It is loaded on the blacklist PHP, where you have long file of a long array of possibility of attack of XSS Site Scripting, with everyone have his risk. Okay, for example, script have a risk 10 on 10, and I search on the thing that I have read this possibility of array with the function uh, the function string pools. Okay, you can find all on php.net. This is the total, and if the total is greater or equal to 10, the risk of malicious code is height. It is if there is from 5 to 10 is medium height, from greater than 0 to less than 5 is medium to lower, and if it is medium to low, and if it is 0 is no one risk. Okay, man, this is all from Fabrizio. Hi to the next. Bye.